So once upon a time there were these three friends. Red dude, bird thing, and the yellow one. They loved sitting at a table in complete silence until one day, that's all ruined by a talking sketchbook that says being creative is their favorite idea even though it's more of an ambiguous concept than an idea. And they all only seem vaguely fazed by this for a second, and they just roll with it because what the hell else can you do, man? So this sketchbook who can tell apart is just talking about oranges and herons spewing memes and telling the yellow one that he's wrong for the completely harmless things that he likes and he's doing art wrong. It's not so much creativity as it is being a Tumblr user. So she tells them to be creative some more, and then they traumatize the internet because the internet's a bunch of giant toddlers. And then the sketchbook's like, fuck this, I'm out. So 2 years later, but on the same day, this fucking clock is like time, and Red Dude's like, what the fuck is this shit? And the clock sprouts like, and the internet collectively decides, oh god, I can't not fuck him. And then there's this huge backlash because everyone's humanizing him in the sketchbook and making them hot, and you know what? I hated it too, but you know what? Nobody was hurting anyone. They just wanted to fornicate with the clock puppet that is of legal age, and everyone acts like it was fucked up, and it kinda was, but the people who lashed out and said hey to these people are either fucking hypocrites who want to fuck a triangle or a robot fox, or just self-righteous assholes who need to bring people down to make themselves feel superior because nothing else in their lives will, and we all need therapy and prescription medication because our government hates us and society smashed our self-esteem down into fucking dust, man. So then there's this butterfly, and he's like, hey, your friend made you sad, and that means they fucking hate you. Come with me and have some applesauce and vodka, and you will forget all of your problems. And then the UFO will take us away. And so the bird thing and Red Dude are like, hey, our friend's being kidnapped, should we go get him? And the bird thing's like, he owes me like $20, let's eat without him and then go get him, maybe he'll get the message. And the butterfly takes the yellow one back to the furry convention in the sky, and they're already like 3 bottles deep into the vodka and all sexually frustrated. And this butterfly is like, dude, yellow kid, you need a girlfriend to be socially acceptable. And the yellow one's like, I'm 6. And then Shrignold's like, too fucking bad, here's your girlfriend, it's probably your sister. I don't allow gays, but incest is fine. And then it's revealed that they worship a stone head that Shrignold made in an art college that he dropped out of. And he's like, wear this ring, and the yellow one wakes up, and then Becky was like, Joe, dude, we need to put some kind of gore in here or fans will whine at us on Twitter, and Joe's like, okay, and then this shit happens. So 4 opens up and the traffic light puppets are playing Trivial Pursuit, but it's a version that was made in the 60s and so no one knows the answers. So they ask a globe for help, and the globe's totally down, and this fucker interrupts him and acts like a fucking lunatic because he's not answering questions, and everyone's like, what the fuck is a Windows 95 computer? He just broke into our house, call the police. And this laptop, who is the best character in the series, is like, I'll call the police, but everyone ignores them because they're addicted to repetitive, useless internet shit now, except Red Dude, who doesn't understand memes. So he tries to save his friend from the stupid memes, and in the process ascends to a higher plane of existence, and his head explodes into a static. So then Bird Thing and Yellow One escape the horrors of the internet, and then are like, something's missing, but hey, this fucking bread is talking, and they're overcome by how fucking perfect and adorable he is. Then a spinach can and a talking lamb chop come in and tell you that eating to enjoy yourself is bad, and if you eat something that isn't 100% good for you, you are a pathetic loser and a tumor in society's throat. And I'm like, god damn it, you fucking puppets, don't you think I know that? And then Bird Thing realizes this is fucking bullshit, and it only took him 5 fucking episodes. So he gets unplugged from the Matrix so the robots kill him. And the orange one gorges himself with comfort food and is too nervous to get the phone, and that's when I realized I was the yellow guy. Okay, so the yellow one spends his night crying in bed and regretting the past, like everybody else ever. And then his lamp comes to life, and the yellow one's like, holy fucking goddamn shit, fuck, you and your motherfucking seeing objects and bugs, please shut the fuck up. And the lamp's like, nope, and then we go into this fucked up episode of Adventure Time for a few seconds, and then the yellow one drowns in watered down temper paint. And we cut to the red dude working his menial office job, and he's trying to have an original thought, but everyone thinks he's on drugs when he thought this up because they've never had a creative thought in their life. So the red dude realizes that life after college isn't all it's cracked up to be, and he realizes that he's not rewarded for his cleverness or originality, and is only judged on how well he can conform to society's rules. Because now that he's an adult, he knows that he's no more better or special than anyone else, so he does what every college graduate who majored in theater but ended up in an office job does: get plastered and sing karaoke naked. But then the microphone starts talking to him, and he realizes that this world is a lie and reality is a lie and clothes are overrated. So then he finds this machine, and plot twist of all plot twists, his whole ordeal of fuckery is actually an experiment, and the universe is a hologram. Bye gold, bye. So the lamp, who's had too much of the butterfly's vodka, is still singing, and then the yellow one's like, holy fuck, it's been 9 hours, please stop. So then the red dude's like, okay, there's a bunch of buttons here. I can't not press one. So he presses one and the lamp turns into a husbando. And then he turns into a giant CG computer that looks like an Amazing World of Gumball character. And then he turns into the fucker fly, and then the food people, and the red dude's like, I should stop pressing these buttons, but it's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. Then it turns out Roy is there, who is the yellow one's dad. And Roy's like, you do not touch my fucking computer. Now look, you're running too many programs at once, and the hard drive can't handle it. Now we gotta unplug it and call tech support. So Roy restarts it, and tech support is like, is it working? And Roy's like, yeah, but the colors are a little off. And then it turns out Roy didn't save his Adobe Premiere file before unplugging the computer, so he's gotta start all over. So he starts it, and then he just decides, fuck it, because that's what I would do. So the moral of the story is weirdos will come in and out of your life, overload you with information, and act like their opinions are facts, and you won't know what's wrong or right, and spend the rest of your life in blissful ignorance while in the back of your mind you're questioning your life and your morals and everything you know, and then all your friends die and then you die too. The end.